The following program is presented by the Metropolitan Library Service Agency.
Hello, welcome to All About Kids, a program focusing on the interests of children and young people and some of the issues affecting them. Since the spring of 1990, the Hennepin County Library and Minneapolis Public Library have been cooperating on a rather unique project. The Children's Readmobile, a specially designed bookmobile, has been visiting licensed family child care providers, early childhood development programs, and family literacy sites in the northwest part of suburban Hennepin County and in North Minneapolis. Today we'll be talking with the Readmobile supervisor, Ardis Wiley, who will describe the background of this project and talk about some of the things that are currently going on. We'll also look at a videotape on the road with the Readmobile to get an idea of what really goes on the Readmobile. Ardis, the Children's Readmobile, which is a specially designed bookmobile, in fact designed primarily by you, has been visiting licensed family child care providers, early childhood development programs, and some family literacy sites for almost 2 years now in the spring of 1993. Talk a little bit about how you got this idea and why you decided that this sort of outreach to some special groups whose access to libraries may be limited because of transportation and other barriers got started.
That was the basic reason we did get started. Was in 1988 we looked at the new legislation that said child care providers had to have seat belts or car seats for each one of their children if they transported them, which meant that they couldn't get to a library because they couldn't afford to have a car big enough for seat belts and car seats for each one of their children. Also, insurance rates went up incredibly at that time. So we looked at getting to the provider instead of expecting them to come after work. So we did that one day a week for 1 year, and it worked out so well that we decided we needed to pursue it further and expand the service to 4 or 5 days a week with a vehicle specifically designed for children, and that's what we did. We started that in 1991.
It's often kind of hard in a tax-supported institution to start a new service when things are already tight with staffing and funding. How did you get the money for the Children's Readmobile?
We were extremely fortunate in our timing. We went to the Library Foundation, which was brand new, and looking for a project to take on. And we were very, very lucky that they were willing to take on the purchase of a vehicle and the collection to fill that vehicle for the child care provider service.
So it's my understanding that the Library Foundation went out into the community and presented this whole idea of an outreach service, a literacy type program to major funders who really saw how important it was for the library to be tied in with social service agencies and early childhood folks.
Absolutely. It's a great a great way to look at public-private partnership, and that's exactly what we were able to do through the foundation.
Well, we're going to take a look at a videotape in a minute or two, which has some testimonials from people who are receiving the service. But just offhand, what were some of the reactions initially from the child care providers, from the children that they were caring for when the Readmobile started visiting their homes?
Well, most of them didn't believe that it was possible that this library would pull up in front of their house and have story time for their children and have books, brand new books, that the children could select themselves. And they'd stand on the curb or on their doorstep and wave at us as we came. And also cry if we weren't able to make it for some reason.
So you really became a part of that whole program.
We've really become a part of their lives.
And the children really respond to the library staff, and adjunct to the program is some senior citizens who volunteer through Hennepin County RSVP Grand Friends and visit the
That's right. We have
families.
7 Grand Friends who go out to 9 of our child care providers' homes when the Bookmobile is not there. And they do reading from books that the children have selected. And the Grand Friends have said that the children are most proud when they read the book that they've selected.
So for children who often don't have a lot of time to talk to adults outside the family because they are in child care, and for a provider, this offers an opportunity for a whole break in the routine, as well
That's
as a
right.
real
And-
early childhood literacy sort
And
of
an
program.
intergenerational atmosphere that a lot of the children don't have.
Well, it's exciting when I have seen the Readmobile on the streets, the reaction in the community too, people waving, smiling.
Oh, yeah, we
Just-
get stopped in parking lots, people wanting to come in and look and see if we can come to their home.
And everybody sort of remembering their library service
Everybody
as a child.
has a
So
fond Bookmobile story from their childhood.
I can imagine this generation of kids who've had the Readmobile talking about it someday. Well, let's take a look at the Readmobile tape and see what some of the people who are receiving the service are saying about it, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about the rest of the project.
I can't think of any other program that we've been associated with that the children get so much out of. It's really a joy.
It gives the children plenty of opportunity to read all different kinds of books.
The children love it. They love story time. They love listening to stories.
The Children's Readmobile, a special project developed by the Hennepin County and Minneapolis Public Library Systems with funding provided through the Library Foundation of Hennepin County. The Children's Readmobile, serving a wide range of children in family child care homes, early childhood development, and family literacy programs who greatly benefit from the many services and resources brought right to their door. The Children's Readmobile, reaching a number of children as well as adults who otherwise might not have any access to the wonderful collection of materials and services to be found in a public library.
Mr. Rogers. Here we go, Dave.
From the provider's point of view, if you have 5, 6, 8, 10 small children, it's next to impossible, especially in the suburbs where transportation is so difficult. Lack of bus lines, child restraint laws, which we have for good reason, you simply can't get 10 kids into the vehicle safely. So they feel at a real disadvantage that they cannot get these children to a library to experience a variety of books. And funds are limited in both the agency programs and family child care homes to purchase materials to keep in a permanent collection on site. So the fact that the Readmobile can bring a variety, a continually changing assortment of books for the children to experience is a real advantage.
I can't tell you enough how much the children and I would look forward to the Bookmobile coming to my home each month. If the children saw it down the street at another provider's home, they would run and get their jackets and be lined up at the door. They couldn't wait to get on the Bookmobile.
Research shows the most important step in preventing illiteracy is to make books and reading a part of every child's preschool years. So, in 1988, a pilot project was initiated to serve over 36 family child care homes in northern Hennepin County with the library's existing Bookmobile.
The parents of my daycare children were so happy to hear about the Bookmobile program. We found it so rewarding to hear the children learning new words and to see 3-year-olds sitting down looking at books page by page and then getting up in front of the other children and telling them about the stories.
The project was an instant success, and the Library Foundation of Hennepin County began seeking the necessary funding from private foundations, service groups, corporations, and individuals to purchase and operate a separate bookmobile. The new Readmobile, designed especially for children, began regular service to licensed contract child care homes in May 1991. The excitement and enthusiasm were immediately evident.
My wife and I think it's a wonderful program. The children get so much out of it. The anticipation all week long, they look forward to this, and the parents get involved, and it's great. I wish they could come every week. It's really a valuable resource, and we enjoy it very much. So do the children.
First he filled the tub. The water was not too hot, and not too cold, and not too shallow, and not too deep. He collected all his favorite toys and his books.
During the first year, the Readmobile service expanded to other sites and programs, such as early childhood development, social service, child care, and family literacy programs.
People in these programs tend to have different demographic backgrounds than the parents and the children that are using the family child care programs. Most of these families are at high risk. A preponderance of them are very low income, many on AFDC, for example. There's a lot of stress in their lives. They don't have access to things that most of us do because of lack of transportation and so forth. And quite often they have low literacy skills themselves. In fact, there are a lot of parents who, although they recognize that it's very important that the children be read to so that they can learn to read, they missed out on that themselves as children and have been stumbling with literacy all their lives.
Well, as you know, the Readmobile has been extremely important in our family literacy program because we work with the entire family. And so through the Readmobile, we're able to offer services not only to children, but also to the parents, and to help the parents experience the joys of sharing books with their children. We've been able to, through the Readmobile, provide a much larger variety of materials than we would have been able to provide otherwise. So for us, it's been an absolutely imperative part of our program to have the Readmobile.
Where's your back? Can you show Mommy your back? Back, good.
Chris, a participant in the Even Start program, is finding the library services on the Readmobile very important for herself and her son.
His vocabulary, he's got a 50-word vocabulary. He loves to read. Okay, good. Where's your foot? Where's your foot? Good. If not for the Readmobile, I would never get to the library, ever. I would never be able to have all these nice books for my son to read, not to mention the great material that I have access to through the Readmobile.
In addition, visits to early childhood family and special education programs by the Readmobile were begun.
It's great for the adults who have low reading skills because they can also check out books that help them prepare academically. They can read more to their children, so they're learning more reading skills. The children are reading more. They check out books for their older children that don't come to school, but so their other children to improve their schoolwork at home. It's the best thing for all the parents here, and they love to come, and the children love it.
We have children in our program that range from birth until 6 years old. They all have a variety of needs, ranging from very severely handicapped to just speech and language needs. And through the books, we've been able to address the different age levels.
Our students at Zachary Square have really enjoyed the Readmobile. We do a lot of things that are language-based in our program, and books are such an important part of that. And it's really gotten the kids interested in books and given them a chance to look at books and check them out themselves.
In Minneapolis, the Readmobile stopped at many sites, including the Way to Grow program at Northside Child Development Center.
Oh my goodness, he went up to the top of that hill.
It has been a great help to us with providing books for the children and the diversity of materials that you have and the service that the Readmobile give us in reading the stories and dealing with the children.
Another facet of the Readmobile service is the access of library resources by the staff of the programs that are being served.
Then in addition to what it's provided for the families directly, The Readmobile's been a very valuable service to the staff because the staff has been able to identify resources that they need in order to enhance the education of the families, of the adults, and to access the large number of materials that you have available through the Readmobile.
One of the major outcomes of the Readmobile service has been the increased collaboration of libraries with other agencies and organizations serving children and their families.
One of the agencies that we visited is a therapeutic preschool for children who are at risk for neglect or abuse. And one of their primary focuses is teaching parent-child interaction and social skills. And they see the Readmobile as just a prime opportunity for them to do that. The parents and the kids both have gotten very excited about this novel, excuse the pun, experience where they get on this vehicle. The kids consider it an adventure. The parents are interested in seeing what this is all about, and it really makes reading exciting. They see the storytellers and they want to sit down with their own children then and practice reading to them.
This is the perfect example of collaboration. Through the Readmobile services, we've been able to not only service families here that attend the Even Start program, but the variety of other families that attend the programs at Thorson Family Resource Center. Kind of the list goes on, but again, it's just the cooperative efforts of community people that are so valuable in reaching the needs of a large number of people.
And what about my books? We'll take them along too, said Papa.
Another ongoing Readmobile partnership involves a volunteer program initiated by the Library Foundation and run by RSVP Grand Friends. These senior volunteers effectively extend the Readmobile experience by regular visits to child care homes, where they talk with the children, tell stories, and share books.
The Readmobile is picking out books that the children seem to enjoy because they want them read immediately, and they seem to be the subjects that they are interested in. So therefore, I think the Readmobile is of great benefit to them.
Library staff and administration have been enthusiastically involved in this project since its inception.
It's wonderful to watch the enthusiasm with which the children and providers come on the Readmobile, choose their books, listen to stories, respond to the stories, and most of all, talk to us about the books and stories we're sharing. Their conversations show that their vocabularies are developing and their imaginations are stimulated. These children are going to be prepared to learn to read when they start school. The Readmobile has had a direct and dramatic impact on them. Literacy skills are so crucial in today's society that it's really significant that these children, their families, and caregivers have found that books and reading are an enjoyable part of their daily lives. The Readmobile service is an example of the many ways public libraries, in partnership with other agencies, really are responding to society's needs.
The Library Foundation of Hennepin County, along with the funders of the project, recognize the role of the Readmobile, its collection and staff, in providing a critical literacy experience for preschool children and their families. A formal evaluation process to emphasize the ongoing impact of this program was initiated by the Library Foundation. The evaluation results will help set the direction and focus of the Readmobile service.
The Library Foundation has contracted with Search Institute to conduct a rigorous evaluation of the impact of the Children's Readmobile program. Commencing early in 1992, in-depth interviews are being conducted with agency heads, with caregivers, and with parents. And the initial results from the pretest are very affirming, with all of these groups attributing to Readmobile a very significant impact and great enthusiasm by children and families. It is our expectation at the end of the evaluation that we will be able to document in a very significant way the impact of Readmobile and to help shape this significant and innovative program so that it will be as strong as possible in the years ahead.
Because we work so closely with the residents in the community and do needs assessments, it's really clear to us that there's poverty, there are human services needs at every level. It's not just people who are in desperate economic need. We have incredible transportation problems in the suburban area. And all of these issues speak to the fact that we really need to do more outreach to people.
The Children's Readmobile Program is an outstanding example of what can be done through a public-private partnership. It recognizes the importance of the first 5 years of life, the formative years, in setting the course for a child's success in school and career. This immediate investment will have substantial future dividends for the children, the families, the community, and society as a whole. The Readmobile helps to fulfill the magic and excitement of books and dreams to which each little child is entitled.
And you realize the seed that you're planting in the minds of those little children, that books are important, books are good. This is with children that may not have a chance in the ordinary day to even see a book.
Reading is so valuable, and I believe the basis for a good quality education. Why not give these young children the opportunity in life to become better educated, especially when they are so ready, have the need, and are so excited about learning?
I like the Readmobile. I like story time. I like all the books.
Those are some pretty powerful testimonials, Ardis, sort of in the talking headline, but certainly expressing a lot of the enthusiasm that people who are experiencing the Children's Readmobile are having. One of the most important things, it seems to me, is this real increased cooperation with social service and educational organizations, and I think people who began to work more closely with library staff begin to see the role of the library in helping promote literacy, early childhood education, and in acting as a resource for adults who are working with children.
I think that's absolutely correct. We've had a great collaboration between the Osseo School District, the Robbinsdale School District, Hennepin County Social Services, the Day Licensing Unit, GMDCA, the Greater Minneapolis Daycare Association, and certainly RSVP. It's been wonderfully eye-opening, I think, on all sides to find out what we actually do best. And we work together to get the best for all of our patrons.
And it's getting back to the patrons, the people who use it. That is the most exciting thing, to visit the Readmobile and see those children tearing on, seeing them waiting for the story time, talking to the staff about the stories or about the books they've read. And for me, watching many of the parents who are in the adult basic education classes or in the family literacy programs, gradually, it's kind of like the light dawns. People who've never had a very positive experience with books and reading, or have a very stereotyped idea about the library, come on the Readmobile. And it's such a laid-back place. The staff is so easygoing, and here are these incredible children's books spread all over. And for those moms, primarily, to see their children really getting excited about books, and the parents, in turn, become excited.
And to watch the parents become excited, it has been just incredible. Not only have we had great successes with the children, watching children who did not know how to open a book, who held it upside down and turned the pages right to left instead of left to right, watching them grow and expand and actually recognize characters in books now. It has been just incredible. But watching our parents at the adult basic education locations that we go to has been incredible too. We have one location, Even Start, at Thorson Family Resource Center in Crystal, that the parents have started their own book club, which is incredible because they don't have a real high reading level at this point. But they've started a book club just for them. That's fun, watching that kind of success. They're doing programs at Even Start where the children are read to for 10 minutes a day, and the parent reads 20 minutes a day too, and they have their charts and they get stars. It's just great watching that, and the enthusiasm that they now have for reading.
And the anticipation for the Readmobile. And I was interested when one of the Even Start teachers, one of the adult teachers, called wildly excited to report that the Readmobile staff had selected a large number of books to help Even Start celebrate Black History Month.
Right.
And one of the parents who hadn't formerly been too excited or interested about reading had checked out a biography, I think it was of Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman, yeah.
And had taken the book home, and not only had the mother read it aloud, but every person in the family had sat around the table on a Saturday night and taken turns reading paragraphs from this book.
Until it was done.
And for the Even Start teacher, that was just the breakthrough, the revelation for this family that reading is exciting, that you can have fun with a book at home, and just that bringing together of a family over one book.
Oh, that's right. And our child care providers have made a connection with the library now, that we've seen more and more they're asking us to help them find materials that will help their children in whatever situation the child is coming up against. The mother and father are divorcing, the child and the mother are moving, the mother's going out to work for perhaps the first time, and they're calling us and saying, what can you do to help us?
So it's that gradual building of trust and a dependence on the informational resources of the library. One of the other positive things I think that's happening is the Library Foundation is involved in other projects now, but still maintaining a real close relationship with the Children's Readmobile, and are still doing some fundraising to enhance the collection, to make sure that the Readmobile has more books or more puppets, the sort of things that
the extra things that our budget doesn't allow. That's right. The foundation is great for that.
So one of the other positive things I think is Hennepin County Library staff being enthusiastic about the kind of outreach that this service provides in the community, and bringing members of the community who may not be regular library users into a library, and seeing the library not as that stereotype of fines and overdue books and quiet, everything that we tend to think negatively, but of a place that's wonderful and fun and easygoing, and a place where people can ask questions and get the information they need.
I think that we've had great luck involving the library staff. Children's librarians from around the community's libraries have come on, and they've worked for a year. Some have worked 6 months, some work a year, and they go out one day a month and do story times, and they're revitalized by the experience of being on the Children's Bookmobile too.
Well, it's always fun to talk to you about this, Ardis, and we look forward to the day when we have a fleet of Readmobiles all over suburban Hennepin County. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Now you've had the chance to go on the road with the Readmobile and see this exciting project, which really is making a difference in children's lives. Thank you, Ardis Wiley, and thanks to all of you for joining us on All About Kids. Please tune in again.
This has been a presentation of Hennepin County Library in conjunction with the Twin Cities Metropolitan Library Service Agency. We thank you for watching, and we hope you visit your public library often.